This is the temple's top floor. The path should open once we offer the 3 keys.
Okay, that looks pretty sick. Not gonna lie. Oh, that's the world tree that's shown in the game over screen.
At last, we are free to walk the path to the Empyrean. There lies the end and the beginning. The source of the eternal light that reforges our world. The Naholbino who reaches it can mold the world as they so choose. Be that divine architect. Pass through the Empyrean and take your place on the throne. Do not forget, some aim to usurp your newfound reign. Show them no hesitation.
This is clearly going to be the big choice. Oh, it's you guys. I mean, of course you're here. Why wouldn't you be?
Tokyo abided by your god's whims, yet it was destroyed. Is that Bethel's justice?
Consider its destruction inevitable. For God's anger burns many and spares none.
Silence, Angel! I'd fight to restore Tokyo no matter what some sick god desires. I'll do everything I can to bring it back.
Hear him well, messenger. The world belongs to a host of the divine, not some misguided dictator.
This one rejects the order of the Creator, ushering forth the era of the myriad gods.
We're probably going to see Ichiro and Dazai next, I would assume. Yeah?
The only way to maintain order in this world is to give it all to God. Everything. That includes even our own lives.
Ichiro Dazai, why do you show yourself here?
I'm here to do what needs to be done. Even if I stray from the path, I'll do whatever I have to do. It doesn't matter, so long as we win.
God's word remains unchanging. As Archangel, I am sworn to defend it. And if I must taint myself as an Naholbino to do so, then we shall carry out his will. As one!
I'm not following you guys, that's for sure.
This one, a staunch believer in the Creator's order, even defying his will to enforce it. One side desires the throne, for a land reborn anew, while the other pines for the world of old. Such a position of power cannot remain vacant for eternity. A leader must rise and take it. You must take it.
Young man, are you well? You suddenly stopped moving. Nothing I said would reach you. But if it was nothing, I'm relieved. Let us keep moving.
Hey, thought you'd be here. Nice work clearing the way to the Empyrean.
Now, onward, my brother. For the throne and all the world is now the Amatsukame's.
Hold it! There's no need for all that. We'll just entrust everything to God. You're the smart guy here, right? It's been bugging me since the summit. Zeus and Odin were big-time gods, but both of them wanted it all. They were never gonna play nice. So what do you think is gonna happen in your world of gods? Endless war.
What are you?
You know these gods will eat each other alive! They won't ever see eye to eye. But here's the thing. If we just let the Creator do his work, everyone will get their fair share. Don't you get it? How could someone who is all-powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing, ever steer us wrong?
Have you ever played Grandia 2? Or FF10?
He speaks the truth. And protecting this divine order has ever been my sacred duty as Archangel. Yet I see that in my fettered angel form, I cannot hope to prevail against you. That much I concede. But for the Almighty, and the world He gave us, I shall embrace darkness as a fallen angel.
We're gonna fight Abdiel again. Most likely. Alright, this is that thing I was talking about. I talked about how Abdiel, the fight was just very not climatic, but this is probably that fight I was looking for. That's cursed. Even more cursed.
Don't tell me you.
I will uphold God's will at all costs, even if it condemns me and severs me from His grace. Just like that serpent in the garden.
Ah, Abdiel. No matter how much you change on the outside, your faith as an archangel is unshakable.
You fools would bite into the forbidden fruit with God's name upon your lips. Even so, the new world is mine to create. And when my world of infinite gods is born, we will protect Japan far better than you ever could.
Not so fast. Sounds like you forgot about us.
Indeed. The Empyrean throne is rightfully ours. Though, of course, we have something a little different in mind for it.
With my own two hands, I will destroy that throne. And humanity will shape their own world.
We must make haste as well, Ichiro Dazai.
Am I gonna get a choice here? I should be.
One defies God in his own name, betraying his word for his will. One seeks to open up heaven and rebuild the world as he rebuilt his divine kin. Truly, this was an unexpected development. My original aim was much different. You have fought through the opposing forces of chaos and order. Here at the end of all things, where do your loyalties lie? What path does your heart long for?
Oh, this is it. I will uphold God's order. This is clearly Abdiel and Dazai's. This is clearly Yuzuru and what's his face, the other guy, Iogami's brother, and this is the other two, Yakumo and Nua. Well, we all know from I made it very obvious, like towards like I would say when I reached like the end of Chiyoda, I made it very obvious that I was not gonna side with Ichiro, Dazai, and Abdiel, and again, I want to make this very clear. All very good points. This is why I really like SMT5, and I really liked how SMT Nocturne did this as well. They really, I really feel like this game has a bigger emphasis on the ideologies in Nocturne, but what they did in Nocturne was really, really neat. But I really liked how they did it in Nocturne, where when you really put it together, you thought, what was his name? Hikawa? I always forget his name. Hikawa. Like, when I first played Nocturne, I thought he was going to be the main villain, but the game surprised me, and it was like, yeah, any of the people could be considered villains. It really just depends on who you side with. I really loved how Nocturne did that, and I'm sure this is an SMT thing, because they're known for multiple endings. This is definitely my favorite part about SMT. My favorite thing about SMT is definitely choosing, like, while the story may be on the weaker side, but it gives you that, like, you know, you get to choose your own branch, and you get to choose how you want to make the world. I loved how Nocturne did that, and SMT5 is, like, really living up to the same vein, if not doing it slightly better, but, all very fair ideologies. We are not siding with these two. The main reason I'm not siding with these two is because I played games where, like FF10, where, like, like, everyone looks up to Yevon, and then Yevon is not exactly what, like, Yevon's the villain. And Grandia 2 has a big focus on, like, the gods, like, Brannis was, like, the god that, like, people, like, looked up to and thought was all good, but it turns out that Grannis and Valmar were both, like, no good, and both of them, and instead of choosing Valmar or Grannis, they chose, like, no god, like, the people for themselves. Now, this is kind of where it gets hard, because I do kind of, like, part of me wants to agree with Yuzuru and, I don't remember his name, the Iogami's brother. I do not recall his name. Good to know I got Hikawa's name right. I always forget his name in Nocturne for some reason. But, Yuzuru, I really want to side with Yuzuru. But I really like, Yakumo and Nua's way of thinking. Like, just, like, I don't know. Obviously, there are flaws. Like, all of these have flaws and all of these have benefits. So there's no right and wrong answer. It really is just what you believe. It's tough, though. I want to side with one of these two. I just think one of these is, like, one of these is really what I want to side with. But I don't know, because, like, I need, like, clarification. So Yuzuru, they want to just destroy the throne, and they want to let humanity see for themselves. They want, like, you know, humanity to forge their own path. I understand theirs. Yuzuru just wants to, like, eliminate the one god and make multiple gods and recreate the world and save Tokyo. I think I need more elaboration on what Yuzuru and this guy want. because that will definitely help me decide which one I see myself going down. Neutral's the shortest between the two. I don't care what the shortest is. I'm going to choose the one that matches my ideals. I'm not choosing the choices based on which one gives me the most content. I don't know which one gives me the more content. I don't want to know that. I don't really care about that. I want to choose the one that lines up with my ideals. If God's Order had the most content, I wouldn't choose God's Order just because it has the most content. I don't agree with, I can see where they're coming from. Like, I can see where they're coming from. They have some, like, this isn't, like, all bad. But when it comes to my own ideals, this is, like, everything I'm against. Upholding God's Order. Because, like, again, I play games like Grandia 2 and FF10 where they kind of showed, like, the God being the supreme being, and then later you find out the God isn't really the supreme being, and they want to, like, get rid of God's Order. So that's mostly why I'm, like, disagreeing with their thing, but it's my own opinion, and it's my own, like, playthrough. And again, they all have positives and negatives. Like, none of them are truly right. They all have flaws and they all have positives. So, you know. Okay, I'm getting some stuff in chat. I'm gonna read this. Zuru wants multiple gods so there's a chance for more conflicts. And then Raptor says Yakumo wants to destroy the throne and have the remaining humans fight the demons. Yuzuru wants to remake the world where the myriad gods look out for the world and have a say in its direction. I really think I'm going to choose this one. Because, again, this seems good. You would think, like, you don't have the one god anymore. But if they're going to cause more conflicts, there's, like, multiple gods. So what's going to end up happening is the gods are going to fight, and then there's going to be, like, one or two gods that are left standing. They're going to have one duel, and won't it just end up with a god again? I think. So, I don't know. Again, reiterating. None of these are bad, and none of these, this is the point. It can go really any way you want. Like, there's no set way. There's no set way to know which way this is gonna go. But, like, obviously I have to make a choice right now. I can't predict the future. I have to just base it off my ideals. But, again, this is really what I love about SMT, because it really just makes me think, which one do I want, here? It's really tough. I want to choose one of these. I don't know which one. Yeah, Yakumo just wants the no gods. He just wants the humans to fend for themselves, basically, is a good way of putting it.
We will protect Tokyo.
You want to protect Tokyo, but you want to bring, like, gods. I want to choose this one, but I also see problems in it. This one obviously has problems too, because nothing will change. If we stay neutral, I mean, is anything really changing? That's the one thing I'm like, it's the one thing stopping me from destroying the throne. Because, like, we're playing like this 60-hour game, and, like, if nothing changes, what's the true purpose? I'm going with this one.
Your will has been made known to me. Thus will I await you beyond heaven and earth.
Chat, that was the hardest choice I ever had to make in a video game. No joke. I've never had to make a choice that difficult. It was tough. I definitely liked both of those options. But I think what really made me decide is destroying the throne really just makes no change. And that kind of makes me feel like, oh, like, that diminishes everything I did. So I really just think, for the sake of a change, that Yuzuru seems the best, even though there are flaws in it. Which, again, there are flaws in all of them. Too late now, I chose my ending.
So this is... It has been a long journey. You have done well in coming this far. We stand before the Pillar Imperial, a path of light that leads Nahobino to the highest heaven. To see your goals achieved, I will stand by your side until the very end. For creation is the will of the universe itself, and overseeing it is the reason I came into being.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I want to talk about this for a bit. So, I know I talked enough. Oh, this is no, we're not doing Empyrean now. Raptor, is this the final dungeon? I'm pretty sure it is, but either way, we're not doing it now. I want to go take care of the side quest that we have to do. We have to do all the side quests before we even think of touching Empyrean. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna go do the Miyazu thing. Because the Miyazu thing was level 80, right? I'm gonna go do that because we're like 79. We should be good. Plus Odin's level 81. Okay, well, I want to talk about this for a bit. First of all, I chose, like, I'm being told that, like, the routes have, like, different, like, lengths, or not lengths, but, I'm being told that that the certain routes have new, like, certain amounts of content in them. Never has that really, like, influenced my decision. Like, I mean, yeah, I could go down that route, but, like, what would be the point? Like, put it like this. What if the God Order one had the most content? It'd just be really weird if I went with, oh, I'm gonna go with this one because it has the most content. Yeah, it means I get to play the game more. First of all, how much content could that really entail? Second of all, it just defeats the purpose of SMT because the whole purpose of SMT for me, honestly, obviously, you could think differently. I play SMT games, I want to, like, usually choose the option that aligns with my ideals and way of thinking. That's exactly what I did in Nocturne. Like, again, Nocturne, they all have flaws and they all have benefits. For me, personally, I saw Chiyaka's reason, which was Yasuga. I saw that one as the one that lined up with my ideals the most. So, yeah. If I would have chose the neutral, but then I'm gonna just really quickly reiterate, like, what made me decide the second one. Because I know I was pretty, throughout the whole game, I was pretty like, oh, Yakumo and Nua are the ones I want to side with. Like, I think I really like Yakumo's way of thinking. However, at the end of the day, it really just occurred to me, like, once I got, like, elaboration on what he was doing, like, at first it seemed cool, like, you know, like, the humans finding their path. But that would mean no, like, change in the world. And the way I think of that is, like, not bad, but, like, just kind of diminishes everything I did, like, you know, in this playthrough. Like, going through this whole, like, 60-hour game and not getting, like, a single, probably, like, minor changes, but not getting, like, the big change to the world that you expect. That's kind of what made me be like, yeah, Yuzuru's is probably the one I want to go with. Both very good, though. Both are very good ideals, and it was, honestly, that's, like, one of the hardest choices I've had to make in my life. Even harder than choosing, like, a house in Fire Emblem. But yeah, let's start doing the side quests, and then we'll do Empyrean once I want to get all these side quests done first. Because they're probably around my levels.
A word.
I did save, right? I think I saved.